King is back, baby. I'm on gas. Yo, Fresh Quick. He's fat.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of this week's Turnbuckle Weekly Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Casey, and with me is my tag team partner, my hetero life mate, a man who eats hot dogs for the shape, not necessarily the flavor, Leon. How you doing, buddy?
How long you gonna be on this hot dog stuff, man?
How long are you gonna do the podcast with me?
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. Listen, you're on your second week of wrestling training. Like, you did your try, now you're into training. You're getting a little bit more used to the bumps. You're not as sore and crying like you were last time. So I just felt like this time I would let everybody know that you eat Snickers upside down to fill a little
First of all, it is very well known, and anybody that knows me, that I do not eat cake, chocolate candy, or ice cream. So I think you need to go somewhere else with that.
But none of those things you named was glizzies. Anyway, listen, guys, this week is going to be, it has been just pure pressure. And speaking of pure pressure, we have back-to-back. Both members of Pure Pressure. I'm completing a bingo in one shot. So without further ado, I'm not going to take up any more of this man's time today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Kasper Davis. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Man, enjoying it, man. We got a little snow down here our way, so the kids ain't have school. Got to sit around, play some 2K. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, 2K.
I looked outside when I woke up and I seen snow. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, it was weird. Like last night, my old lady said something about snow, and I was like, "It ain't snowing." And she goes, "Look outside." And I look outside, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's snowing." All right, I said, "Okay."
Yeah, I walked out, took the dog out. Normally I walk him around, but today I was like, "Oh hell no!" I was like, "Come back when you come."
It's cold out there. I ain't going out when it's cold. That's exactly how it was.
Dude, I tell you what, like, it wasn't even snowing last night. Like, we got out of church and I was sitting there, like, there's this little, like, 1-year-old kid out there barefooted on the sidewalk, and I'm like, dude, you tougher than I am. Ain't no way. Nope.
I couldn't do that.
Nope. There was a baby outside selling weed on the corner.
Oh my goodness, barefoot. No.
So I just want to get down to it, man, because I got to tell you, our first show, me and Leon, first time we went to any of these shows, I don't know if I told you while we were in Owensboro, but we started going during the Independence Day show. That was whenever there was that big tournament, and you and Tommy were backstage knocking everybody out before that little, like, gauntlet match for the belts.
Oh yeah.
So our first introduction to any of you guys was just you guys just jumping everybody and coming out and running the thing. And then we were immediately like, yeah, these guys are something. And apparently we're not the only ones to notice, because by that, like, y'all haven't been with the company long and you're already two-time tag champs, or is it, I don't know.
It's two-time tag.
And how long have you actually been, like, working for them, at least for them?
So I started training back in 23.
Okay.
But then, like, a lot of personal stuff, well, I can say everybody knows now. Did a lot of dumb stuff, got me arrested. And then Chris gave me the opportunity to come back. That was in July, because I got out of jail July 10th. So, got out July 10th, and after that, I've been with the company ever since.
You know, man, it speaks volumes for that, specifically Chris, because when we started working with the company, he takes us back. We're in Livermore. He takes us back to the kitchen. Him and Alexander Knight sit us down, and he's like, perception is reality. Like, the way people outside of here view you is the way they're going to view us. He was like, don't do anything stupid. Don't get yourself in trouble or you're out. Well, you got yourself in trouble and you're not out. So that's got to speak volumes to just where you sit with him. That means you're in a spot that he does not want to see you go. And he also give you that second chance. Like, it really speaks volumes for that company. It's another reason I love working there. So you started training with WWA, or did you start elsewhere?
I started with WWA.
Okay, so was this one of those like you saw a casting call and then just jumped on it, or like how did this get started for you?
Okay, so long story short.
Oh, here we go.
Eli, the ref, me and him were roommates at one point.
Yeah.
And I don't. Eli was on Bumble, and then he went to the. You have two sides of Bumble, like the dating side, and then just to have friend side.
Yeah.
And so he seen Chris on there, and he seen Chris was a promoter, so he ended up messaging Chris about wrestling and everything. And he just told me and Eli to come out to the show and just watch the shows, and after the show, come talk to him. So we ended up talking to him, and we kind of had an audition basically, because he had us cut. And he was like, I like what you guys got. He was like, we will be hosting tryouts next week, so make sure you're there. And that's how it happened.
Nice.
See, that's interesting. We kind of have the same kind of thing going on. So another one of those long story shorts. This podcast used to exist in one form. It now exists in this form. Before this form, there was like this little bitty setup here where a buddy of mine that went to the shows was like, hey, you need to come to this show. It was the tribute show for Logan Legit. He's like, you need to come to this show. And then we had a good time, and I was talking to him about, my podcast, and I didn't have a co-host. And he said, dude, you don't need a co-host if you got the right people to interview. He was like, I'm going to send you a bunch of guys that I know from WWA, like people I've talked to, and that they're fun, and like they're going to hit you. So Mad Mex was my first interview at a WWA, which was a hell of a way to start it. But like I said, that was a really fun episode. I tried to listen to it the night of his tribute show. I tried to listen to it beforehand, just to kind of like get myself remembering Mex a little bit, on a more personal side. Because after that, we had correspondence for like 6 months, just going back and forth and the endless Instagram reels and Facebook reels and whatnot. But like, so we do all this, and I talked to him, I talked to Devin Parker, do this, kind of, fall out of it. Me and Leon go to Independence Day. My kids went with us, fell in love with everybody there, like especially Dash and guys like that. And as we're in the car, like I look around and see how happy my kids are, and I look at Leon and I was like, man, like, you should start doing this podcast with me. And he's like, I'm a little nervous about it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, we'll interview these guys. I started interviewing a couple of them. A couple of the guys I interviewed aren't there anymore, but some of them are. So let's jump over there. And then eventually it came down to this guy gets too big for his britches and goes, hey, I got us an interview with Ray Waddell. And I was like, are you shitting me? I'm like, how'd you get that far? I was like, man, I said we're going trainees and like rookies, man. We're working up to the big guys. We're working up to title holders and stuff like that. Not realizing, what the backstage dynamic is back there, that everybody's pretty equal. I mean, except like, AK and like the guys like that. Like everybody's pretty much an equal back there. So
and it's funny because it went from Ray to Ray going to the next booking meeting with him and Munchie and be like, hey, these guys are actually wanting to know stuff. You should try it. And then Chris was like, hey, get me on that podcast. And so we had him on, and then we had, somebody else, and Chris was like, hey, get me on for part 2. And then we got him on for part 2, and it's been going
snowballed.
crazy from there. Yeah.
This guy mentioned he wanted to be a wrestler, and Chris was like, well, get your body in shape. We're on the way to Bowling Green to the tribute show.
Yes.
Yeah,
to Matt. No.
It wasn't?
No.
Either way it goes, we're on the way to
either way.
the last Bowling Green show was, and then Chris texted him and was like, hey, you and your buddy Caleb show up and try out. And then I started getting FOMO. And I was like, hey, can I do something stab? I'll shine Bo's head if that's what I got to do. I want to see my buddy do this. And I had a little bit of wrestling background. I miss it. So it's good old
Bobby Wilson.
Good old Bobby Wilson. So just moving on. So you said that you end up making a few mistakes. You do a little time. You come back. I think if I remember correctly from Eli's episode, you talked about that, and you said Chris told you, like, come back, just keep your ass out of jail.
Yeah.
So you come back and then it's just rocket strapped to your back and you go. Do you think like you really had to work hard to get the trust back? I mean, what was that dynamic coming back? How was that for you?
The dynamic coming back, it wasn't bad. I mean, there was some people, I'm not gonna say they were like treating me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to see if I was gonna stick around, which I get.
Right.
You know, and Stonewall is one of my favorite people. He's gonna hear this, but he is one of my favorite people. I was gonna say don't tell him, but he's gonna hear it.
He gonna bust that door down.
Because like after he seen it, I was sticking around, he was like, I actually like you, Chad. And thing is, Stonewall don't call me by my name. He calls me Kevin.
No, surely not. Lord.
Yeah, so he was like, I'm glad you're sticking around. He was like, you know how to take a joke and know how to roll with the punches. He was like, I'm glad that you didn't quit this time around. And he was like, I really appreciate it. But for the most part, everybody else, well, what the hell happened to you? So, yeah.
Hey, man, that's something too, because that's something me and him talk about after the shows. Like, we kind of nerd out a little bit. We were sitting there walking around being like, yeah. We're like aloof and cool and like calm. Except Leon, everybody knows better. But
Lord have
like,
mercy.
I'm walking around aloof and cool, calm and collected, not freaking out that like I'm doing this again and like it makes me happy. And then we're getting in the car and I'm like, do you notice that like nobody there should be friendly to us at all?
That's true.
Nobody should care. They're all got their own things going on. But the fact that as many people did come up and be like, hey, how you doing? Which is I got a funny story to tell everybody else about that. But like everybody coming up being like, hey, how you doing? And stuff like that, like a lot of surprises. Josh Onyx coming to us and being like,
Oh, dude. Don't even get me started on Josh.
We see him in the ring and then he walks up and he's got like the biggest smile on his face. He's like, hi, I'm Josh. And
It's like, hey, I'm Josh. Welcome. How are you? And it's like, oh, hey, what's up?
Like, hey, how you doing, man? Like, that's a really strong contrast to the way you are when we're behind the barricade.
You know, it's kind of one of those awesome but scary feelings because, like, he's really nice now, but he could flip like a switch and then he'd break me in half if he wanted to, type deal. So I'm like, here we go.
Which segues into my funny story. So Leon doesn't necessarily know the story. I didn't tell him. He was in the ring. While Leon's doing tryouts, I meet you, or not doing tryouts, but during his training, I meet you while I'm talking to Sugars. Sugars is my boy. So I'm going to tell the story to Leon so it makes more sense. You know what happened. So me and Landon are talking while you're doing the thing, and we're talking about, like, where you're doing well and, like, Caleb, how athletic he is and things like that. Well, Kasper here walks up and puts his hand out. So I turn around and do what I do and shake his hand. Mm-hmm. The handshake was not meant for me.
Oh.
It was meant for Landon.
Oh,
so
no.
instead of just being like, oh, no, and running away like I normally would, I just went, hey, I didn't know who you're talking to. He didn't see you anyway.
Oh, no.
Sugars didn't know he was coming. There's no way you can convince me he saw him coming.
Look, the way I see it, see what I did there? Look, the way I see it is, if you ever get in trouble with Sugars, all you got to do is get 1 foot past his eyesight, and you'll be fine. Lord.
No, that was super funny. Like, and so I do want to go a little bit further back, though, because I do like to tell the story from the beginning, but sometimes the beginning could be anywhere. So I want to go back to the real beginning. Nobody just starts wrestling training because they're like, this is a thing to do. There's some kind of desire there. Where do you feel like your passion from pro wrestling came from? Like, where were you? What were you watching that you were like, this is it? And then who was that wrestler that sparked that for you?
Me, my little brother, and my great-grandpa at my great-grandfather's house. And I tell this story all the time. Every Monday and Friday, sometimes we'll catch ECW.
Oh, yeah.
who made me fall in love with wrestling was Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
He's my favorite wrestler of all time.
That's one we haven't had yet.
And also like Booker T, because that was of that era. That was my great grandfather's favorite wrestler. So anytime like we watching wrestling, even if Booker T is not on that show, if he's on Raw or SmackDown, like my great grandpa be like, "Is my boy Booker coming up? Is Booker coming? Can you dig?" And like, oh my god,
Dude, I love it. Love it.
So yeah, like just have been basically my childhood. I wanted to be a wrestler ever since then, but I've always looked into it and always said like the wrestling schools was at least $2,000-$3,000. I was like, yeah, I ain't got the money for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Dude, and that's the same way. Like, that's how I was about it. I was like, you know, I want to be a wrestler, but I can't freaking afford it because I'm poor and I'm from a little town and that has like 2,000 people in it. And jobs here ain't great. And I don't want to drive an hour and a half to go to work. So I'm going to stick with what I got. And then I heard about WWE and it was like free training. And I was like, hey, Casey, I'm going to go do that. But I didn't read the fine print that they were looking for certain people. So I was like, well, there goes my shot. And I was like, I'm going to do this whether I can afford it or not. And then I find out that OVW now has a scholarship for going to wrestling school. And I could have went to college to be a wrestler. Who would have ever knew?
I never knew that.
Oh yeah, you know, Al Snow, running OVW now, he put the work in.
Yep.
And he was like, he went to the I forget what the name of the board
Some kind
is.
of board of some kind of educational board.
He went to a board and he was like, listen, he's like, if you want to be a plumber, you got to go to school. If you want to be an electrician, you got to go to school. If you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, if you want to do anything that requires a skill, a specific skill set, you have to go to school for doing that.
Yep.
So why can you get a scholarship to go be a nurse? Why can you get a scholarship to go be an electrician, but you can't get a scholarship and you can't get an accredited education from professional wrestling? And the Kentucky Education Board could not argue.
Well, and I think another thing that added to that too was, I think he brought up the point too, is professional wrestling is a sport. It's a contact sport. Just like you've got scholarships to go be a football player, but you still have to take college classes. To be a basketball player, you still got to go to school. Professional wrestling is the exact same way. You've got to have certain stuff in order to do it. So why not get in some college classes, but also get to do something that you love at the same time? So, for him to go and now give people who, maybe I don't want to go play basketball, but I want to wrestle, but I can't necessarily afford wrestling. So let me try going to school and just killing two birds, one stone.
I don't think anybody can afford wrestling. No.
You would be surprised.
Look, it's costly, man.
It's very costly.
We don't wrestle. I don't wrestle. You don't wrestle right now. I don't wrestle anymore, right? We work for a wrestling company. I still spend $60 a night easily, and I don't pay to get in the show anymore.
Right.
I still pay $60 every Saturday to go wrestle. So I do, I real fast, when you say that you used to watch ECW, or because there's no way you're my age. Do you mean like the WWE ECW, or do you mean like what I was watching?
I've actually watched like a lot because I've watched WCW. My great grandpa made sure like I knew what wrestling was, not just of my time, but of his time as well. So I grew up on both.
Well, I can see that you definitely have like a wide range of inspiration, because you do a lot of moves that I really only associate with Samoans. So where does that come from? You do like the I don't know what to call it other than what they call it on 2K, where you run in the corner.
That's the hip attack. The hip attack, yeah.
The hip attack. You throw a really good Samoan drop. So is that by design? Do you feel like you draw influence from some of the Samoan guys, or?
Yeah, like I've actually with the Samoan hip attack, I got that from Jacob Fatu. I've watched his stuff since he was on the indie circuit.
Yeah, dude.
Jacob Fatu, I've got some inspiration from here, and then like it's not even just Samoans. The Hardy Boys, I got the portion in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like me and Q used to hit that. I got it from them. Like, I just try to incorporate people that I looked up to as a kid.
Speaking of tag team moves, me and Casey have talked about this all the time.
Yeah.
When we were at Independence Day, you and Tommy Guns hit a jackhammer like Death Valley driver combo. How did you all get to where you were like, this is going to look so good, it's going to make the audience be like, I don't need to see anybody take that move ever again? Because it was so devastating to watch, and Casey's jaw hit the floor. It was insane.
I like tag team wrestling.
Yes. It was so good.
It was honestly Ray and Alexander Knight that helped us with that. Tommy knew he just wanted to hit his, jackhammer. So they tried to figure out how can they incorporate me in there to make it a tag finisher. And so we practiced it probably for 30 minutes because we have to get that toss right. If not, we will mess our opponent up, like actually mess them up.
Oh, yeah.
So we practiced it over and over to the point we was like, we got this.
It's such a dope movie.
Our chemistry actually started coming together.
Dude, it's so nasty.
Y'all do have a bit of the perfect chemistry.
Yeah.
Before these shows, I make a little post on Facebook to let everybody know what we're gonna do, but I try to make the goal when I do it to definitely hype up who I got on there, but not to blow smoke. And I said some form of we have Kasper and Tommy. We're gonna release them out like that. Just one of the most dominant tag teams, one of the fastest rising tag teams on the indies, because I honestly believe that you guys got something special.
For real.
It works. It's hard to put a finger on what exactly makes it work because it works so well. It's just everything. You're quiet and reserved and laid back to where Tommy is loud, and Tommy's coming before he's coming. That's another thing I love about him. That him doing the shouting is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. But y'all just have this 1-2 combo. You're not trying to overshadow one another, but you're also not trying to make the crowd ignore the other one. You guys have the perfect mix of stuff, and then throw in Onyx and throw in Q, and then at one point I guess CCW as well. At one point, it just everything seems to drop in its place. So I honestly believe that of the tag teams, especially in the WWA, you guys are probably the most unique, and that's what makes you stand out the most. That crowd really either feels one way about y'all or the other. It ain't hot or cold when y'all come out at all.
No, it's one way or the other for sure.
I mean, they either really love you guys, like that one kid who comes in he's
oh my gosh,
Southside
yes.
shirt. I love that kid.
I consider him one of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
During Southside versus
High
Society, loser breaks up. If I'm gonna be honest with you, half of my attention was on that kid. I was especially when the pin was as soon as I forget who got pinned. I think it was Q took the pin for that.
I think so.
But whoever took the pin, as soon as the ref counted 3, I immediately shifted over to that kid. I was like, what is he about to do?
Dude, his facial expressions during that whole match, because during that match it was a constant shift of who's got the upper hand, and then somebody's got real good offense and real bad defense, and just goes back and forth. And it was that trick on the Madagascar movie where he takes his hand and puts it over his face and it's a smile, he puts his hand down and it's a frown. His face was like that the entire match. It was Southside's getting the offense, it was smiling. Well, here comes High Society, and he was frowning and mean mugging. And then when you all lost, I thought you tore his heart out and shattered it. I swear I thought he was going to cry. It was so good.
Because us. Oh crap! It's breaking up.
Oh no, you're good.
No, you're good. We got you, buddy.
Oh, I thought it was breaking up.
No,
it does,
but it catches back up. You're good.
Yeah, you catch up.
Oh, okay, but no, it's as we Kasper, what happened? I was rooting for you guys. I was like,
we took somebody that worked with us to that show. He's like an 18-year-old kid. He loves wrestling, and we drag him away from his girlfriend because she's like, you can't go to the shows and look at all those women half naked. And we were like, there's no ladies on the card. There's only one lady that works for the company. There's no ladies on the card. First match, Lizzie came out, and I went, shit. So we took him to that show, and he's a WWE guy. That's the only thing he's ever seen. He's a kid. He ain't even seen no TNA stuff. He didn't know nothing about it. WWE is the only thing he knows.
But he's very knowledgeable about it.
Yeah, he's knowledgeable, but he was very reluctant, like, to go to the show. He's like, this is dudes that work at Walmart and such, and like, they do what I do for a living. They're in here wrestling. Like, it's not gonna be, everybody has this perception about indie wrestling.
Right. That's not gonna be good.
It's gonna be light tubes and thumbtacks and blood. It's gonna be outlaw mud show. That's what people think when they go for the first time, and they're like, oh my god,
the indie circuit a bad name.
Yeah,
exactly.
For real.
Everybody associate the light tubes and barbed wires with indie. That's not what it's all about.
Precisely. And that's what we try to explain to people. And like, so this kid, the whole time there, he's just like, yeah, it's fun. He's waiting for the blood and the guts, and it's not coming. Well, then, like, he starts to see you guys throughout the show. And then, like, when we leave, I was like, did you have a good time? And he's like, I was, until the only people I really started liking lost, and now they ain't even a team no more.
Yeah, it's funny because that was the very first show he went to was when you all broke up.
Hadn't been to one since.
Yeah, that's right.
Hadn't been to one since.
I was like, Dallas. I was like, who's your favorite team? He's like, I like the Southside Wrecking Crew. And he sounds just like that every time he talks. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he talks like this.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I like the dude in the jumpsuit. And I was like, Q? He goes, yeah, that guy. And I'm like, you can't remember one letter of a dude's name that is one letter?
He could just be standing there, and I'd be like, hey, Dallas, you having a good day? And he'd be like, yeah, I'm having the greatest day ever. Can't you tell?
And he usually is. And so speaking of Southside, like, and I don't know if I brought this up when we were talking to Quincy or not, because I was always under the impression that the World Class Wrecking Crew was first. Q reminded me that it was not, that Southside Wrecking Crew was first, brought in Chris Waddell. And so during us talking to Quincy about that and about your all's storyline during that time, it really, and it may have just been me, reminded me a lot of the Nexus. So, like, you've got the original leader, CCW comes in trying to coach you guys, trying to lead the team, whatever. Well, then you've got Game Time Onyx who comes in and just has you all just destroy, disband, whatever, throw CCW out. And then he becomes like the CM Punk or whoever took over the second round of the Nexus or whatever. Was the Nexus ever brought up during them planning, like, hey, you three are going to come out as a team, but we're going to give you this? Like, was Nexus ever brought up, or was your all storyline like built from the ground up?
It was literally built from the ground up. There was no Nexus. I don't even know. Yeah, it never was brought up. It was just from the ground up. Like,
gotcha.
When I say I was in my jail cell, and his number was the only one that I had at the time. I called him, and he told me, hey, Chris wants to talk to you when you get out. He said, give him a call.
Right.
And I was like, what is it about? He was like, he wants you to be part of a tag team. And I got so fucking excited. So I was like, hey, do me a favor. Text my mama on Facebook and see if she can bail me out.
Mama.
So, like, she wasn't able to. It was one of my close friends playing. He was like, now, this plan will only work if you keep your ass out of jail. He was like, can you do that for me? I was like, yes, I can. He was like, okay, then let's get the ball rolling. I was like, no problem.
So, did doing the time have any influence on the character at all? Like, do you bring any of that mentality to the character? Or is it just, I put my gear on, I go out there, I Samoan drop dudes, and I walk away?
In a way, yeah, because I'm not portraying myself. I'm not portraying Chad. I'm portraying Kasper Davis.
Right.
Something that I've always wanted to make. You gonna be angry a lot. You around a bunch of dudes, nothing but testosterone is building up in there.
No,
That's big facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that is kind of where I channeled that from, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
But like when I first started, I was really quiet. I was letting Q and Tommy, yell south side. I was just sitting there in the corner. If you look at the yeah, he was really quiet. Till now, like I'm out there with Tommy, pressure.
Right.
So it's
Dude, it's so good. I love it.
And I just like I've worked in the penal system 2 separate times. I worked for 2 different county jails. I worked for Davis County, and then I worked for Breckenridge County. I wasn't nothing but kitchen help. I worked for a company called Kelwell. All we did was just the cooking and the food and stuff, but all of my workers in Davis County, it was my privilege dorm, which was Building 3. Shouts out to Building 3. Some of those guys are still there. And then in Breckenridge County, it was just like essentially anybody that would want to come and work up here, they would put them in a kitchen. And I would always notice that I had pretty much the same group of guys every single time. I had the guy who was just, this is what he does. He's a career criminal. He's in and out of county. He knows everything about jail. He can get you in and out of everything like that, and he's usually the guy to go to when you got problems. Then you got the guy who's young, he ain't never been in jail, he thinks it's a joke. Then you got the guy who's angry that he's in jail. Then you got the guy who sits back in a corner, he don't say nothing. It's always that way. And so I had one of the angry guys, and I had made a joke at him this last time. He said something about he wasn't going to come into work the next day. I said, "Oh, big fella, you coming into work?" I said, "You coming in here and cooking?" I said, "We got 300 inmates to feed." I said, "You one of them." I said, "You going to sit in your cell, you're going to sit there hungry, and you're going to end up sending a guard down here to get me to send you a double tray. You didn't work, so I'm not giving you a double tray. And I'll come down here, man." I said, "Yeah, that's right, you can come down here." I said, "You can give your life to Jesus, but your ass belongs to Kelwell, son." And everybody starts laughing. He didn't laugh. He didn't think it was funny at all. So, and he gets real mad about it. He's ready to fight. And I said, number one, I will mash you. I will kill you. Number two, why are you getting mad, man? We're having fun. It's jokes. There's egos in there. And that's why I was just really curious after finding that out if you notice the parallels between the two. Because there's one thing, the two things that professional wrestling and jail have in common is ego. You got to get it killed.
Yeah.
You got to get it killed. And so do you feel like, do you notice the parallels? I did notice, like you were saying something, you were like, "Oh, this reminds me when I was in my cell, like blah, blah, blah." Do you find that happen to you a lot? Because I do, and I ain't done no time. I find a lot of parallels.
I will honestly say, being in the locker room, there's not really egos in the locker room. Everybody gets along.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, everybody back there is nice as hell. Some of the people
They
that
are.
you think would be mean, like when I first met Bo Sawyer, I thought he was gonna be a dick, but he's one of the nicest guys. Hell.
He is. Like,
He is, and it's all the guys back there. So like from my point of view, like I never really fit in anywhere, like ever. In school, I didn't fit in. Some of my best friends, I feel like I didn't fit in. Shut your mouth over there. What are you tightening up for? But like everybody coming up and saying hello, how are you? How's training going? Is really like, it feels like home. Everybody's, hey, I'm so-and-so, welcome, whatever. And so when you all have said that the locker room is a family, it really, truly is a family. I mean, it's just nobody's different than anybody else. You're all there having a good time, and we're here having fun and putting on good shows. So for anybody
except Santos, fuck Santos.
Yeah, except for Santos, he can't count, obviously. He can't read, he can't talk. Sorry, Santos. Not sorry.
It has been one of those things, though. Like, we interviewed Bo, and he was like, this guy's who reached out to Bo. He started taking steps to reach out to people way before I got a chance to start getting some of them. And he's like, "We got Bo Sawyer and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, all right. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, all right, Bo's a vet. Like, he's been around for a while.
Long minute.
For a while. He's probably done a million of these things. He's probably tired of it. I was like, I'm going to have to work extra hard to keep him like he wants to be here.
It was so easy.
As soon as we got him on the phone, he was like, hey guys, how y'all doing?
He's like, how y'all doing
I'm so
today?
excited to do this. And I went, really?
And it's funny though, because like some people, whoever their persona is in the ring, they're totally different from outside. Like the way they talk, the way they present themselves, or whatever. Bo Sawyer talks the exact same way outside the ring as he does doing promos. He's like, well, if it isn't good, MK Swift. And I'm like, is this dude really? He's like, yeah, I've been wrestling around for a minute, been in OVW and blah, blah, blah. I've been champion. And I'm like,
I've been wrestling 37 years. Like,
37 years. You can't take a belt off a man that can't fight. And I'm like, huh? And then like at the shows around back, he's like, yeah, you want to go get some Buffalo Wild Wings? And I'm like, what is going on? And then you got Jorge, who's like, what'd you say, huh? And then he's like cutting promos. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you up so good. And then he's like, what comes after 2? Is it 4 or 5? And it's like, huh? But Bo Sawyer is the exact same way, and he is like a super friendly guy. He's a big friendly giant. It's awesome.
Which makes me segue into, going back to referencing of the show. When we had Quincy on the show, he said that locker room was like a family. Yep. He found it at first a little bit hard to integrate into that family because he came off as like abrasive and whatnot. He had to like really show the locker room that like he was here to be a part of this family. Do you also feel like you had the same experience where you came in and you find it hard to integrate in that family? Or was it one of those things you showed up, you were comfortable immediately, and we were off?
Nah, see, I'm not a big people person. I'm one of the biggest introverts, so it took me a while to warm up to them. It was some people that like I just clicked with, like Mad Max. He was the first one cracking jokes with me and everything. He introduced me to half the people in the locker room, but for the most part, it took me at least 2 to 3 weeks to actually be like, hey, what's up, or joke around with people.
See, I was finding, I also have that little bit of an issue. I'm an introvert, but I fake that I'm an extrovert. Like I fake, like when I'm walking through having fun, I'm usually doing it to people I'm comfortable with. That way somebody else might see that I'm being fun and may want to come over and have a little fun. I don't go up to anybody there and be like, hey, how you doing? That's why, like, when you walked up and go shake Landon's hand, I thought it was for me. I immediately shook your hand because I was like, I do not want anyone in this locker room to think I'm some kind of fucking asshole that doesn't like to talk to people. Like, and which is how I am. I don't want to talk to people. I feel like I'm the voice of this show, but Leon is the face. Leon's who I send out to talk to people because Leon can talk to anybody for at least a minute. I have that problem. So, like, I've been sticking to, like, Munchie or like Dash or people that I've talked to, and then I'm sitting out there and we're talking about something we're going to talk about here in just a minute, like video games and stuff, because I gotta always give some time to video games when I get a gamer on here, and horror movies too. So like, I'm sitting there doing that, I'm messing with sugars, and then I end up, everybody starts coming over and talking, having a good time. It's a real weird thing to like be like that and not like people. As I'm, like I said, not a people person. I do not like most people, to be honest with you. I don't want to talk to anybody because I might say something wrong. I might say something nobody likes. I could say something really insensitive and I realize people don't like it. It's fear-based for me, but it's because I want to be liked. I feel like anybody that says I don't need validation, that they're full of shit. You do need it. It's just sometimes you don't want it and you got to fight against it. So I'm one of those people that's like, I really do want people to like me. So I will culturally be a chameleon. I dip my fingers in everything. I like all music. I like all kinds of movies. I like all kinds of stuff, which brings me to movies. You walked up and you're like, oh, the horror movies, and we got off about that. So, like, I want to go start there. Like what kind of horror movies you actually watch? Because we didn't have a chance to talk about that.
I like stuff like It. Right now, I'm watching the HBO.
Oh, yeah.
I like stuff like that. Alien versus Predator. I like the Scream series, not the whole thing, because the past 2 movies have sucked.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, listen. Listen, I did not like I didn't like 5, I guess is what it was, where like the killer is the guy from The Boys. I didn't care for that one. That one was a little like, This last one, I can pick things out of it I like. Like, I could be like, oh, okay, I like that it was literally somebody you didn't expect it to be. It was the first time I didn't call the killer in the first 25 minutes of the movie.
Like, it's just with that, like, starting off, like, it was a random guy in the alley and killed his teacher, and it's like, what the hell is that? There was no suspense to it, no nothing, and next thing you know, he dies, and it's like, huh? So, yeah.
Right.
But I'm glad they bring in Matthew Lillard back. He did phenomenal as Stu. But I like
Oh, I think we might have lost you on that one.
Oh.
There we go. You're back.
I was just saying, I was just saying I like those type of horror movies.
I remember.
I'm not really big into like. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I'm not really big into like paranormal activity and stuff like that.
Yep.
Horror. To me, it's just comedy, kind of, because they do dumb shit and it's predictable.
That's why I like Get Out, because you're sitting there and like everything you want to shout at a horror movie, the guy already knows, and he's like, "No, I'm not walking backwards into a dark room." Like, go ahead, Leon, because you look like you want to say something.
So I remember the very first horror movie like that I ever saw. I was at my babysitter's. I was like 4 years old, and it was, I don't know, August maybe, whatever, and it was late at night, and we're sitting there, and they had kids. They were like teenagers, whatever. And they were like, "All right, y'all come in the living room. It's movie time." And I'm sitting there, playing with action figures, whatever. And they're like, "All right, what are we going to watch?" And they're like, let's see. How about The Grudge? And they were like, "Yeah, let's watch it." So I'm sitting there, and they start doing like the music, and I'm like, "Oh, the interest of this movie looks cool and sounds good. Let me walk in there." So I go and sit down, and then like I think it's like the opening scene or whatever. Maybe it was even Grudge 2. Where it's like the top of the staircase and you hear the throat like bumping and stuff, and I'm like, I've never heard that noise a day in my life. What happens there? And so like I'm looking at the TV, and I remember I have to stand up and poke my head around in between everybody because they're all sitting in a big group, and this thing comes walking down the stairs like upside down, and like and I'm like, "Yep, nope, I'm going back in here." And I had nightmares for months. And then it's like in the same movie or whatever, she's in bed and she like raises up the blanket. It's like underneath the blanket at the foot of her bed, and is like staring up at her. I'm like, "Yeah, I need an exorcist. I'm 7. It was awful. It was so bad.
I'm a couple years older, so when I saw The Grudge...
Whoa, a couple years older than who?
Then I'm a couple years older.
You're how old?
I'm a couple years older.
You're how old?
I'm 33.
Okay.
I'm a couple years older. So by the time Grudge had come out, I'm already desensitized to horror. So the only thing I thought when I saw that movie is like me and my brother would sit and just make fun of stuff, and like our buddies are watching it and they're like, freaking out about it, and I was like, "Man, y'all tripping about a Japanese girl in blackface? This movie's racist."
Oh man.
No, my first experience into horror was my brother, who is a giant asshole. He was at the last show making fun of my kid because Tommy made fun of Stark for being cross-eyed, which was hilarious. And he's there making fun of my kid for being cross-eyed. He says, "Your eyes go this way." And like he's making fun of him and stuff like that. But like my brother calls me downstairs to watch a movie with him, and I was big on Toy Story back then. That was my jam. And he was like, "Yeah, this is a movie that's kind of like Toy Story. It's about a kid, and he has a doll, and the doll comes to life and plays with him. It's called Child's Play."
Oh, nice.
And I was like, "Oh, let's watch it." And then Chucky comes to life and starts killing people. And I don't think I slept for... Mama said I stayed up for like 2 days straight. I refused to go to sleep. I put all my toys in the closet. I was like 4 or 5. and scared the shit out of me. Now I got him tattooed on my arm.
Dude, I remember watching movies like the Leprechaun movies. Those were good when I was a kid. Oh, dude, the Leprechaun movies. One movie, for some reason, that I think maybe I was scared of, or maybe it was my cousin or whatever. You remember that movie Toy Soldiers? About the little action figures and like the little soldiers come and like shoot toothpicks or whatever at people. I was like I remember I had my closet and I kept like a big tote or whatever, had all my toys in it. And I remember I had some wrestling figures, Power Ranger figures, whatever, Transformers.
Are you going a long roundabout way to tell us that Small Soldier scared you?
In a way, probably so. I didn't grow up with scary movies, Casey, okay? I was a little single. I had no siblings. And, and I loved my toys, okay? So I remember looking like in the closet. Put your hat back on.
Sorry.
But like I remember I had to get up, run as fast as I could across my bedroom, slam the closet door, and come back into bed and like turn on my flashlight and stare at the door for like an hour and a half until I fell asleep. It was awful. It was so bad. It was so bad. I may have a touch of the tism.
Horror movie that really got to me. Crash. That's the only thing that messed me up. To this day, I can't drive behind log trucks. I have to speed right past it.
Yeah. I've started using that movie as a verb on the road. Like, I'll go around them, and my girlfriend will be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I ain't getting Final Destination 2." Hell no. I was like, "No, this isn't happening." Even rock trucks, like the trucks have little pebbles in them. One will fly out and hit the windshield, and I'll pull over. Nope.
I don't blame you.
You don't like rock trucks?
No, I don't like anything that has any kind of projectile that's going to come off of the trucks that carry the cars to dealerships. Nope. Nope. We're not.
So you're going to tell me? So you're going to tell me that if you were heading from, I don't know, Hardinsburg to Louisville, and you were on I-65, and the only traffic that was on that road was log trucks, car haulers, and rock trucks, you would pull over and say, "Well, we need to cancel our appointment then."
Well, actually, I don't drive to Louisville, so
Oh, okay.
No, I don't drive in Louisville. Nope.
But you'll drive in Bowling Green.
Nope.
You won't drive in Bowling Green either.
Nope.
You drove in Bowling Green when we went to the first Bowling Green show.
Panic attack whole time.
So you mean to tell me that we left that antique mall and it was panic attack the whole way?
Yes.
The 5 miles we drove from the antique mall to the show, it was a panic attack.
White knuckled on the steering wheel.
And it was a 1 lane the entire way.
Yep.
Big homie.
Nope. I don't like traffic. I like this country traffic that we got. I like driving around here, and the worst thing I got to worry about is a cow, because I could stop and not hit the cow, and the cow just look at me like, "Meh," and I'm like, "Fuck off, cow," and it'll go away.
Or a deer.
No, the deer don't bother me. I don't see how y'all hit deer around here.
I don't hit
It's really
deer.
easy to not hit deer. See, I'm from Owensboro. I'm from a civilized city where we know what to do. We don't hump our livestock.
You want to take that back a couple steps? Because I don't think Owensboro's as civilized anymore.
No, not anymore.
Okay, so getting back to the whole wrestling thing, because so we're super big on moves and that type of thing. And we were talking, a lot of people take inspiration of their moves from movies they've seen, video games they've played, whatever. One of my favorite moves of all time, which you happen to do, is the full Nelson into the reverse STO. Love that move so much. It's one of my favorites.
Very underrated.
Right. How did you go about being like, I think I can pull that off? Because we've seen you every time you've done it. You've done it to some really big guys like Snyder. I think you hit him once with it, to guys like Dash. So with Tommy doing the angle slam, how was it that you were like, I'm going to do this freaking reverse STO and make it look amazing?
I was literally, because I was on YouTube and I was just going through tag teams, but also just singles, and I seen Bubba Ray about to go for the Bubba Bomb.
Yeah.
Such a good
And
move.
then I was just thinking, what can I do with that to make it mine? So I ended up playing
Yep. Big facts.
creating a moveset, and
Big facts.
I
Yep.
was creating a moveset, and I seen it, and I was like, that look fucking awesome.
It was
So,
awesome, yeah.
So instead of like me, like when on on the game, all they do is lay back with it. But with me, I jump with it to make it more impactful, to make it look like, oh shit.
Like he just killed that man. Yes, I love it so much. It's so good. Speaking of 2K,
Here we go.
I may or may not hold the record for most hours ever played on 2K19.
Go ahead and tell him how much it is, and then also remind him that you're married, and we don't know how that works either. I don't know how women let you touch them after you tell them that.
I have 2,889 hours on 2K19.
Oh my. Oh wow.
Well, you know what? I appreciate your response, and that, you know, I don't need professional help like Dr. Phil or something, MK.
Yo, no, Michael was right about that. You need professional help.
It's only 2,000 hours, okay?
Listen, I can't say nothing. Cause I'll be playing a PlayStation 2.
That's what's up.
I have an Xbox, but I like to play the PlayStation 2. And I'll be on SmackDown versus Raw, and I can spend hours on end from sun up to sundown playing that. So I can't really say nothing.
Dude, that was the best thing about the SmackDown vs. Raw was the create a finisher. Because I remember when I was a little kid and I was like, yeah, let's make a finisher. And I would do standing in front, and I would do where you like turn around, like kick them like in the nuts, like behind your leg, and I would spam that over and over, and then I'd hit him with like a spinning power bomb or something. I remember on 2K14 when the Shield was first introduced, I made a finisher for Dean Ambrose, and
They said they created a finisher then, didn't they?
they did. 2K14 was the last game had it, and it was only on the PS2 or PS3. They didn't have it on the PS4 version, or maybe it was vice versa.
I think
Anyway,
it was vice versa.
but like, so I remember I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give Dean Ambrose this move because Dean Ambrose was my favorite wrestler at that time, and so
Now he takes back bumps and bleeds.
yeah. So I remember I was like, I'm going to create him a move that I can use online that people are going to hate. And so I remember I gave him a top rope move, and it was like a 1,200 degree Phoenix splash elbow drop, and it made no sense, and it looked terrible.
I was legit making moves.
I got so many hate messages on my PlayStation. I probably still have them. And it was like, screw you. I hate you. I'm never playing with you again. And I'm like, dude, just make a move and make it worse than mine. That's all you have to do. It was awful.
Yeah, see, like
It was
them
so
old
good.
games used to be. I can't really get behind it. I bought it for no reason. You know how many times I've played it since I bought it?
Twice.
I would say I probably spent at least 20 hours total playing the game.
And that's which game?
That's WWE 25.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, this new one?
The newest
Look,
one, yeah.
I was like that too when it first come out because like there's an agreement in my household from both households, from being married and then now with my girlfriend, she kind of inherited the rule. And that's the game comes out during tax time. My birthday is during that time. I don't like my birthday. I don't celebrate my birthday. I don't like birthday gifts that much, except the one Leon got me this year where I got a Power Ranger morpher. Like, that's my favorite gift I've ever gotten in my whole life. But I usually don't like people buying me gifts. It makes me feel weird. Like, we grew up poor. Everything I had was given to me, like food boxes and clothes. And I'm real weird about people giving me stuff. So I was, I'm like, hey, I gotta have this game. Like, I'm gonna buy it for myself. I'm gonna buy the same game every year, like people that play Call of Duty do, and I make fun of them for it. I'm gonna buy the same game every year. Well, I bought that game, and I also bought Baldur's Gate 3. So I only spent during the first 3 DLCs maybe 60 hours, and then my Baldur's Gate's got like 500 hours on it right now. Like, it's insane because I'm a nerd and I like all the stuff that make vagina go away. And that's what it does when I turn on Baldur's Gate. It used to be turned on wrestling. My girl would watch it. Chelsea'd watch it, and she'd be like, "Oh, this is fun." And then about a year into the relationship, it got, "Turn this gay shit off." Is immediately what I start to hear. And I'm like,
And we talking about the game, right?
no, we're talking about just watching wrestling.
Gotcha.
Anytime I turn on WWE, she asks a question. She said, "Are you going to play the story mode, or are you going to make a character?" I go, "I'm going to make a character," and she leaves the room. Same thing with Baldur's Gate. As soon as Baldur's Gate kicks on, she's like, "Well, I'm out." D&D.
Do you know why she's out?
Yes, because it's Dungeons and Dragons.
No, because she won't play any game that she can't swim in.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, if you can't swim, she doesn't want nothing to do with it. Or if you're not an ambulance driver, that was a weird game. And then we just found a crime scene cleanup game, and she was like, it piqued her interest. She like, I'm going through games trying to find a new game to play, and I come across that one, and then I just look over her to see if she's looking, and she's got her phone down, and she's like, "What is that?" She's like, "Go through that real fast. A game where I get to clean? That sounds awesome."
Hey, it's not the worst. Look, the worst game I've ever seen simulation-wise is a post carrier simulator where you are a mailman.
Yeah, Chelsea has that one too. She
Does
loves
she?
it. She loves it. It's like her favorite game.
Now, for me, it's the Goat Simulator game.
Goat Simulator, that's fantastic.
Goat Simulator
That's so
is
good.
awful.
Did you all see that new game that they've got out now on PlayStation? So it's kind of hard
You
to
gotta
explain.
give us time to answer.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, that's all I needed to know because I figured you didn't. So they have this weird game. Get your hand off my thigh, bro. What's
I'm
wrong
sorry.
with you? Oh my goodness. My gosh, we're not playing thigh rub simulator over here. Okay, so there's this game where you play as a duck, right? So you're a duck and you have to kill humans. It's weird. So you get a duck and you get to fly, but you have guns, rocket launchers, whatever, and you have to kill humans who are also on the other team. They're real players. So it's like it's like a duck hunting simulator, but it's human hunting. It's really weird.
Quack.
You are a quack.
I'm so down. I don't know what you're talking about being bad.
I will have to send it to you. Yeah.
I'm down, dog.
Yeah, you play as a duck. It's really weird. All right, so back to wrestling. Oh my goodness, this is fun. This has been a fun episode. I enjoy it very much.
Yeah, this makes it seem like I told Alexander and I to lie the other night. He said, "When you do this, do you have like a structure or do you just wing it?" And I was like, "Oh, we have a structure." No, we don't.
Can you tell us what our structure is today?
I did all of the marijuana before the show, not during.
Okay, good enough. Now, moving on. So we do want to get back, though, to something serious because we know that right now you are injured.
Oh, yeah. What's this? Are you going to ask what's the story
Yeah,
there?
so a couple things. One, you took some bumps Saturday, which I'm not going to lie, I kind of really felt bad for you because I could tell that you were hurting afterwards. We were actually at that show when you got injured. I looked over at Casey because it was a tag team match. I don't remember who you all were facing, but I remember you were on. Was it high? It wasn't High Society, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was because I remember Tommy was in the ring and you go onto the right side of the ring and you're. At first, we think you're selling, and I remember because a lot of people know you sell for so long and then you have to pick back up in the next spot, and I could tell from watching everybody in the ring that they were like, hey, we've got to improvise. Something's not right. And then I remember Danny coming over, checking on you, Jen coming and checking on you.
Yeah, when I saw Danny move, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
he's not just selling.
I looked over at Casey, I was like, something's really wrong. And Casey's like, no, I think he's just selling. I said, Danny's going over there. He goes, oh, something's wrong. What happened? Because I was focused on the ring. I didn't see, did you take like a bad bump to the outside? What happened? Because I could tell you were hurting. You were breathing heavy. And I was like, he's not gassed. He's hurting real bad.
No, it's not even when I got out the ring. It's literally when I took my, it was a second bump that I took from Alexander Knight. It was a clothesline. And when I was falling back, my foot didn't come up off the ground. It stayed.
Oh.
And when I fell back, I fell on it and my whole foot twisted towards the back.
So it was before you ever went out of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
he's like, okay. And he, like, you can kind of, like, if you watch the video, you'll see him, like, give me a nudge out the ring. Because, like, he was being professional and, you know, the show can't stop. You have to keep going.
Right.
And so that's what he did. But when I was outside, like, they wanted me to go to the back, but part of me didn't want to leave that floor because I wanted to watch the match. Even in pain, I want to just still be out there in support of Tommy.
Right.
Because, like, we started this together, and, like, I don't want to, you know, I would have felt bad if I left without.
Nope. There we go.
We lost you there for a second. But no, like, and that's the thing about a lot of people there is so many people on the current roster, they all started together. And whether they're faces, whether they're heels, you know, inside the locker room, you can tell that, like, you can't separate anybody. Like, it's a close night, like, it's tight knit. Everybody's so well put together.
You're breaking so much kayfabe right now. If Jim Cornette were here, he would be fuming.
But he's not, so that's okay. But no, you know, everybody being there together and you staying out in, you know, staying back in pain, staying out there watching Tommy really shows that, like, people put their friends before themselves, and that's something that you don't get in a lot of businesses. So, you know, it scared me half to death watching you. How is that going now? Like, do you have a time frame of when you think you'll be cleared to come back, or are we gonna have to wait and see like everybody else?
From what the doctor says, I'm out probably until everything, but I can walk on it. You know, I can run a little bit. As you seen Saturday, I ran ropes a little bit. It's just weird, you know, trying to run.
Yeah.
Because I still have the limp while I'm running, but when I'm walking, I can walk fine.
Well,
You're
I
walking
hope
better than Ty.
Yeah, for real. Oh, dude, he got in that ring and started running them ropes, and he didn't have his knee brace on. And I remember we were going to the back for the meeting, and he was like, I was like, yeah, come on, Mataja, you're pulling up the rear. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, I'm coming. I was like, yeah, well, come on, big fella, let's go. And then after the show, he had his brace on, like pain medicine. I was like, yeah, you got that brace on now? And he's like, yeah, it hurts real bad. I'm like, yeah, I can tell. So, you know, we wish you the best in recovery. Can't wait to get you back in the ring, because it's really noticeable when you've got a guy who's as quick as you are in the ring, who's now slowed down by injury. So I'm super hyped to see you get back in there, help Tommy, and regain them tag team titles, man. It's gonna be a good time. Casey,
I'm really ready to get back in there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're fine. You're fine, man. You know, and it's one of those things where we hate seeing you out, but some wrestlers try to rush getting back in, and they only do more damage. So take all the time that you can, and when you get back, you make sure that you and Tommy get them tag team titles back, because the Golden Gods don't need them. Okay, they don't need them.
They definitely don't.
That's right.
They
You tell
back
them.
home to us.
That's right. They just keeping them warm.
I still love Snyder, though.
Schneider.
Yeah. I'm gonna eventually explain that joke. We've been shouting something at Snyder while we were fans. I mean, we're still fans, but while we were, you know, paying to get in the show.
I think it started in Independence Day.
And we had Independence Day as soon as it said Snyder. I'm a big fan of X-Men First Class, and there's a scene in that movie where Magneto's talking to the two of the Nazis who were responsible for killing his parents, and one of them tells him that he's a pig farmer, Schweinbauer in German, and the other one, he says that his parents were tailors, and he says und Schneider. And it always just made me laugh, because Magneto's like, yeah, my parents didn't have names. They were killed by pig farmers. He goes, they were killed by und Schweinbauer. Und Schneider. So we shout Und Schneider at Snyder, and he just keeps looking at us like, what the fuck?
See, his reasoning's different from my reasoning because I'm a child and I only had one parent growing up. I started doing Und Schneider because one of my favorite movies is...
growing up. What are you talking about, you piece of shit? I only had one parent.
Most of my life, I was only raised by my mother, Casey. Leave me
I was
alone.
raised by a house full of women.
But my reasoning is very different because I'm a child and I was an only child and I didn't have any friends growing up. I love the open season movie, and it's kind of racist because their little wiener dog is German, and he goes Wunderbar, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Und Schneider, and it's so funny. So when we get him on next Saturday, I'm gonna go Und Schneider, come here, and just see what he says.
Und come over here and talk
come
to
over
me.
here, come over here and talk to me, Und Schneider.
Talk to me.
I have a new Volkswagen out back. We should go see it.
Make sure I'm nowhere around when you do that. Make sure I'm over making fun of Sugar for being blind or something. Or something. But
that's something that we always do. We make fun of his blindness.
yeah,
I should totally stand 21 feet away from Landon and ask him how many fingers I'm holding up.
His mom does it too.
She does.
Like his mom does.
She does. Like I remember Halloween Hell. I was sitting there and it was that ladder match, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna die. And she smacks me in the back, and she goes, "Don't say that. He can't freaking see anyway." And I go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're doing great, Landon. You're doing so good out there."
She came over to me because I'm scared of heights. So it made me nervous watching. That's how scared of heights I am. And I turn around while people are climbing on the ladder, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm scared of heights." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm really afraid Landon's going to fall off that ladder." And I said, "Nah, he ain't going to fall off the ladder." She goes, "He's going to fall off the ladder. He can't fucking see the ladder."
And it was the big ladder, the big giant one too. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, I was I was happy that I was somewhat part of it.
That was a really pleasant surprise.
It was.
Like, I'm distrustful of professional wrestling now after Seth Rollins did that whole knee injury and then it wasn't real. So
Yeah.
then you got hurt, and I'm sitting there because, again, I question everything. I question the government. I question my job. I question everybody. Motives all the time. Like, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, he's not really hurt. I was like, even you posted, like, I'm hurt, you showing the boot and everything. I'm like, nah, Dusty Rhodes wore a neck brace in public to make people think he was hurt. I was like, this fool has gotten his hands on a boot, and he's lying to all of us.
Yeah, we were sitting there Halloween Hell. We were like the tag team match coming up. Tommy's like there, and he's like, yeah, Kasper's going to come out with Tommy, and they're going to keep the tag team
I was
titles.
like, that's going to be the surprise, is Tommy's going to come out there by himself with both belts, and then he's going to get in the ring, and he's going to turn around, and he's going to yell, and then Kasper's going to come
He's
out
gonna
and be like,
pressure.
ha-ha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Like,
And then here you come out limping. I'm like, oh, nope, it's
he
real.
came out limping, I said, oh, it's real. I said,
As I came out, I was trying to limp as fast as I can, make it seem so impactful, but man, it was so painful. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, you know, and you guys play such good heels, but if you ever notice, it's really hard to take somebody seriously when they're a heel and they're limping and trying to run at the same time, because it's like, dude, I'll stick my leg out in front of you and make you fall on your face. Don't act tough and limp at the same time. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then here you come, you're like, and you're limping and walking fast. I'm like, he's gonna do something, and sure enough, you did. I was like, yeah, but here we go.
I was yelling at you. I was like, don't you climb that ladder. Don't you climb that ladder.
Listen. I love wrestling, but at that moment, I knew I could not even climb nothing.
Right.
I thought about, like, I slid in the ring. I thought about just climbing up there. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
See, and Leon said something, and it sparked something for me. And I want to tell you a story and see if you remember it. There was a show. I don't remember where we were. We had the ladies there with us. It might have been Bowling Green, but
Or
it also
Litchfield.
could have been Litchfield, because those are the only two shows the ladies really go to, where we get all of our ladies to go.
Question, was it front row?
Yes.
Were we by the entrance?
Yes.
It was Litchfield.
Okay, so there was one of these shows in Litchfield where Southside's still together. You guys are hyping up the match against High Society for the breakup and whatnot. And as you guys are leaving, this old man gets up with a cane and takes a swing at y'all.
Okay, that was not Litchfield. That was Bowling Green.
Oh, was that Bowling
That
Green?
was Bowling Green. Yeah.
Bowling Green.
Yeah.
We called that. We started calling it the Riot of Bowling Green.
Okay.
Bowling Green Riot.
Look,
Because we didn't know what that's how we knew we were so over, because we never had that interaction with a fan.
I'm not gonna lie. He lifted up
More
that
people in that section.
dude. They are crazy.
Yeah.
I remember he
was
lifted
one
up
guy-
that cane, and I said, sir, it's not World War II anymore. You can't do that. I said, it's 2025. I said, you need to put that cane down. I swear I thought y'all were going to get nailed. I was like, this is not happening. This is not happening.
Tommy almost did get
He
it.
did. And what made it worse was he swung, and then Tommy took a step back and was like, huh? Got it in his face again. I was like, big homie. He gonna wallop you.
We
He gonna
saw
wallop
all
you.
y'all's faces. I want you to know all four of you broke.
You did.
All four of you broke for a hot second. I saw Onyx smile, and so I was like, I gotta look at everybody, and I look over you, who at this point you've been blank, just whatever. You're just, hey, I'm here to do my thing, and that's it. And then I look over at you, and you're smiling. I was like, that's the first time I've ever seen him smile. I was like, he broke character just now.
Oh, dude.
All four of you broke so hard, and
It was so funny, though.
I said, dude, you don't know how much money I would pay to be a fly on the wall in that locker room right now.
Oh man, yeah. Because soon as we all hit the. Bro, did you fucking see that? Yeah, it was, oh my god. We was laughing about it the whole night. It was that's crazy, because it made our night, because, like I said, we got over so much, and we got so much heat. We've had heat, but not that type of heat, and it just made our night.
I have not seen that old man since.
I have. He took a swing at Tommy.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Didn't he learn the first time when he was in Bowling Green? Oh my goodness!
No, it was in Livermore.
Oh, he was at Livermore.
He was in Livermore. He was sitting
my
there.
Goodness.
He was sitting there next to him. I don't remember who it was. He was over by, definitely over by the South.
Oh my
Side
goodness!
Kid.
He had his grandson with him
We
this
call
time.
that guy that likes y'all we call him the Southside Kid.
Southside Kid, yeah.
He was over by him, and Tommy's
Okay.
over there doing his thing, and then Tommy starts yelling at the old man. The old man starts yelling back, and then he takes his hand up and he swings like he's gonna slap Tommy in the face. And I went, oh my god! And I just put my head down. And my 12-year-old, he goes, what? And I said, Tommy Guns is about to beat the shit out of an old man. I was like, as soon as that old man hits him, it's over.
Speaking of Southside, it was right before Southside broke up, and it was the very first Owensboro show that we went to when we had Dallas and Brad with
Salvation.
us. And I don't know who this guy was. He was some redheaded guy with glasses. And I thought Onyx was going to snap that dude's neck legitimately. Apparently at some show previously, this dude was talking about Onyx's kids. And I thought Onyx was going to kill this man. And Dallas was like, oh, he's probably faking it. I said, dude, there is steam rolling off of Onyx. And it was even while Onyx was in the corner, he was killing this dude with his eyes. I was like, this guy's gonna die. No. All the Southside Wrecking Crew will kill this man.
All this was a really long-winded way to be like, hey man, people really fucking hate y'all.
They do. But it makes a good stopping point, I think. Casey, why don't you wrap it up?
Well, yeah, you know what? I have a question. I'm reaching my wrap point, because I do have to go and feed children here in just a few minutes, because my old lady gets real mad when I don't do that. I guess you got to feed them. Nobody ever tells you that shit.
She put you in the doghouse.
Well, I mean,
Like a good little boy.
You're having fun making them, and then you're like, a really fun 45 seconds, and then nobody tells you the consequences afterwards.
45?
Okay, 30.
That's worse.
I'm sorry.
Goodness.
But like, so I gotta go feed these kids. But we have a question that we always ask everybody at the end of the show because Leon and I.
My contribution. You're welcome.
Yeah, it was Leon's question. Whatever, you Mark. So we both built our lives based upon hindsight. Hindsight is always 20/20. We can always look back and go, if I could have done it different, I would have done it this way. Well, I use that to not live in regret, but to move forward and just a little bit better. So I like to go back and think about things in my past that might, apply and be like, what can I do things differently? So if let's go back to 2023 when you start training. You get a time machine, man. You get one charge on that time machine to go back to that day where you start your tryout. If you could tell something to that guy that would make everything a lot easier going forward, something you could also tell any trainee that you could talk to, that could make the journey just a little bit easier into becoming a pro wrestler, what would that be?
That's a good question.
Oh, thank you. I took credit.
What a freaking dweeb. How dare you? Oh my goodness. Sorry. Go ahead, Kasper.
I would tell him, keep going with it. Don't doubt yourself. And everything that you work for is going to pay off. You're going to be okay. Don't be scared to do what you love. Just keep pushing through, and there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel.
That is my favorite answer to that question of all time because that's exactly where I am right now. So thank you for that. I appreciate that very much.
That was a good answer.
That's exactly where I am right now.
I haven't heard one of these answers I disliked.
No, they've all been great.
But
Cortland Moore's answer was the best.
No. Cortland Moore's answer was not the best. It's the one that keeps me up at night. Doesn't make it the best.
Why? Multiverse theory.
This guy
what a
went
freaking
full,
nerd.
This guy went full multiverse
Oh, my
theory on us.
goodness.
He was like, I wouldn't change anything because if I would have went back and told myself to take care of the diabetes a little bit better, maybe that started a ripple effect, and I never met Jen.
So are you saying that his name should be Cortland Strange?
No, because that's Quincy's gimmick.
It was rhetorical. It was metaphorical.
He's already strange. He walked around for months with a toolbox with Michael Caine's beard in it.
You wish it was your beard hair in there.
Bro, if he would have cut my beard off, I would have told him, don't put that in the toolbox. Put it in your britches. Keep it close. I told my old lady after that podcast, I was like, listen, because we talked about music for most of it, and I'm a musician by trade. Like, that's what I learned to do first before I ever tried to train wrestling or anything. I just broke my pen. So we talked music for a while, and I told my lady, I said, listen, I know you want to get married in a few years, and we're definitely going to do that. I just need you to be okay with the fact that while I marry you and we make sex and things like this, Cortland Moore has my heart. And she just goes, she's like, that's fine. You can rub your bald heads together. And I was like, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do that thing on Family Guy where like the guys in the elevator, the bald guys, they start licking each other's heads. Me, Cortland, Bo, that's what we're doing. And Michael Caden. We're all gonna just right across.
Now, where are you going to stand in that? Because every single guy could take you in a heartbeat.
In the middle. But
so is it going to be like a one lick and done, or is it going to be like a how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop type
I
deal?
take a lick and keep on ticking, big fella.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think we're going to end right there. That was a good show.
I do though, Kasper. I want to give you just a few seconds to let everybody know where they can find your socials, watch your matches, because I mean, when it comes down to tag team wrestling,
it is a sight to be seen, y'all.
You and Tommy are definitely a sight to be seen.
For sure.
So let everybody know where they can find you, how they can see you, where they're going to see you next. Just whatever you want to plug right there, man. It's all you.
You guys can find me on Facebook, Kasper Davis, spelled with a K. You can also find me on TikTok, Kasper the Kid, and that's all the platforms you guys can find me on.
Bet.
All right, and then y'all know every Saturday, except the times when Chris wants to take a little break, like in December. You guys can see all of these guys. You can even come in, I'll stamp your hands. Maybe I'll make a little joke with you. We'll have a little fun, because I definitely like when you guys come up to me and you're like, hey, which one are you from the podcast? And I go, I'm Casey, the fat one, and then Leon's the little one. That's how I describe it. I'm the fat one, you're the little one.
So you can come see this fat bald dude with a stamp, or you can come get some comedic entertainment from me shouting stupid stuff at the people in the ring. I'm more entertaining than Casey. He just doesn't know it yet. Thanks, Mom.
I'm gonna fuck you. You just took my catchphrase, dude. Are you stealing my gimmick?
Yep.
All right, y'all guys, love each other. Love yourselves. Take care of each other. Let's get through the week. Let's get through the month. Let's get through the year with this thing we love called pro wrestling, because with the way the world is nowadays, we all need a little bit of distraction. We appreciate y'all's time. Time is very important to me. Time is finite. Anybody that gives a bit of their time to me, I am forever grateful. Kasper, we appreciate you and your time. We hopefully we'll catch you at the next show, brother. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me on here.
Oh, of course, man. Hopefully we do this many more times.
That's right.
Many more.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right, no problem. Hey, thanks, Mom.